To make chai, you're gonna want some loose leaf tea. So you could get Red Label, Taj Mahal, there's Lipton, or you could even use tea bags. So there's a bunch of different varieties, but personally I would go with loose leaf tea. And right next to that is your masala, which is very important if you're making masala chai. There's a couple different varieties and you can use any of them. If you're gonna use loose leaf tea, you're also gonna need one of these. It's a strainer, so you can get this like cute plastic one, or you guys can get a metal one. Now that we've got all our ingredients for chai, we're gonna start making our chai. So the first thing that you wanna be thinking about is how many cups of chai or how many people you're gonna be making it for. Typically, if we do faith in chai, we're gonna be making about 8 cups of chai. And so the usual ratio that I'll use is 50-50 milk to water ratio. And you can mess around with the ratios, whether you like your chai like thinner or milkier. It's up to you. Typically, if you want to like do a precise measurement, you can use a measuring cup, but it's a lot easier to just use a regular mug and just fill it up and then pour each one in. Now that we have our water, a helpful tip to know is that we're not going to put the milk in just yet. Instead, we're going to bring the water to a boil. Okay, so now that your water has finally come to a boil, we're going to add the tea leaves and the chai masala. So for the tea leaves, the box says to add 1 teaspoon for every cup that you put in. So since we used 8 cups, we're going to use 8 teaspoons. So yeah, don't forget that even though we have only 4 cups here, the 4 cups of milk will come later, and so we have to account for that when adding the tea leaves. You're also going to add 2 teaspoons of the chai masala. So we'll start adding that in now. Now that you've added all of the extra ingredients, the tea leaves and the chai masala, you're just going to stir it up. Make sure everything's mixed well. Pull it away from the heat, and we're going to cover it to let it steep. Our tea has been steeping for about a minute now. It doesn't really matter how long you do it. It can be like 1 to 3. Just leave it on there for a little bit. But now that it's done steeping, what we're gonna do is put it back on the heat, and we're gonna start adding our milk. So remember that we're doing 4 cups of milk for our chai, and what we're using right now is 1% milk. Some people will say that you should only use whole milk, but honestly it's up to your preference. So you're gonna add the milk in. And one thing to note, once you add the milk in and start heating it, it will boil over if you don't watch it constantly. So just make sure you're standing near the pot at this point at all times. Otherwise, you'll have a huge mess on your hands and burnt chai. All right. So now that our chai has been on the heat for a little bit, you might notice that the milk is starting to froth, and it looks like it might start to boil. So this is the point we're going to take it off the heat again and take it over the sink to strain it. If you've noticed, we have a big chai pot and a very small strainer, but we're going to have to make do with what we've got. So we've got the setup in the sink going on. And you might notice that I'm straining over the sink, and that's just because if your chai spills, which it probably will, at least it'll fall in the sink and not make a mess over your countertop. So we'll go ahead and strain the chai. we've got our chai in our chai canister. Let's talk about sugar now. So you'd think that everyone would like their chai nice and sweet, but that is apparently not the case. So you have a couple options for when you want to add your sugar. Honestly, you can add your sugar at any point in the process, whether it's before straining, after straining, once it's in the can, or you could even bring sugar along with you to Faith and Chai and just have students decide how much sugar they want to add to their own cup. But for us, I think we're going to add sugar right now while it's in the canister. All right, that's it. We're all ready to go lead Faith and Chai.